Hello people, it's LFC Plavi here. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Click the like button and comment down below. I just want to know your thoughts on what I'm about to discuss. Today, what I'm going to talk about is the fact that transfers doesn't guarantee any success. It is just a single component of the many things that could guarantee a team success on the pitch. Now, I'm making this video based on a video I watched over the weekend, and it was an interview that was done by Men in Blazers YouTube channel with Ian Graham. And for those of you who don't know who Ian Graham is, he's a former head of data analytics for Liverpool. I think he was there. He was there till 2023. He started his role, I think, in 2014 when Damian Comolli was the sporting director at Liverpool. And he said something very profound that really stuck with me. He said that 50% of transfers, which this is a statement of fact anyway, which says that 50% of transfers do fail. So 50%, which is half of transfers. So if you bring in two players, it is a fact that there's a 50% chance one of those transfers are going to fail. So I'm making this video as a follow-up to one of my videos on this channel where I talked about the fact that if you're a football fan in general, and particularly a Liverpool football fan, you shouldn't worry about transfers, and there's no need to even waste time on transfer rumors. So sometimes people get overexcited about transfer rumors and they start to believe that things are going to go well just because a new player has been signed, or they get more pessimistic because the team hasn't signed anyone. Another thing that I want to say is that in all the seasons that we've won the league, we haven't signed players who made impact in the first team or the starting 11. In 2019-20 season, when we won the league, we brought in Sepp van den Beek and two goalkeepers that summer. So we didn't make any major signings to impact the first 11. These were players who were already in the team. So the fact that a team signs new players or have a busy summer doesn't guarantee success. Of course, it may guarantee success at some point, but it doesn't guarantee immediate success. So that is something that we should all take note of. And the fact that 50% of transfers fail, for me, it tells me that we shouldn't put too much weight on how much business the club does. The most important thing is that the team is able to perform well. And whoever performs well, whether it's an academy player, whether it's a player who was bought in the previous two transfer windows, but can be improved and make an impact on the team, it doesn't really matter. Whether or not it comes from a player who has been bought for £100 million in the summer prior or 2 summers ago shouldn't really matter. The most important thing is that players do well and the team overall is able to win things at the end of the season. Looking at Liverpool's parade and the celebrations that have gone on over the weekend and throughout the week, it really feels good to win the big trophies. The Champions Leagues, the Premier Leagues, the FA Cups, even the Carabao Cup. It really feels good to win it. So we are in to win trophies, but I also don't think that transfers are the only reason why a team would be successful. Because as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, according to Ian Graham, 50% of transfers fail. So no matter how good your transfer policy is, 50% are likely to fail. So this summer, of course, we are expecting a busy summer. I do want to see signings in the team, don't get me wrong. I'm not against signings, but I'm against transfer rumors that just perpetrates linking players unnecessarily to a club just for the sake of it. There are some of the transfer rumors that are completely ridiculous. So that is what I'm against. But when it comes to signings, we do need reinforcements in this team, because for me, I think that last season we did well to win the Premier League, but could we have done more? we could have gone for a double. And I think if we had enough squad depth, that Slot really trusted, because we did have the squad depth, but Slot wasn't really enthused about those other players to bring them in, for example, to play during the busy periods, to give rest to some of the starters. So that is something that cost us. You could see that against PSG, there was fatigue getting to the end of the game, especially during the 30 minutes of extra time. Against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, we could have won that game if we had enough rest. For me, I think that game really came too early for us. If it had been at a different point in the calendar where we had at least 1 week rest, we would have won that game. So we can go for a double next season. And when I say a double, Champions League and Premier League is what I'm referring to. If it ends up being one of the biggest trophies, either Champions League or the Premier League, and an FA Cup or Carabao Cup, I think that would be great. So we need reinforcement. I do want to have reinforcements in this team. I want to see some exciting players arrive at the club. But the most important thing is that Liverpool keep winning.